Everybody, welcome to the new week in competitive programming. And it's the first day of February, so new months, new contests. But before we head on to actual contest, which will happen this week, I just wanted to thank you all guys for amazing support. I started this channel, I started filming a lot of content for this channel around a month ago, and channel grew significantly since then. And it wouldn't be possible without you, so thank you all guys for that support. It really helps. Like, my original intention was to create a channel to kind of record some things, how I practice, what I solve, to kind of get more involved in all these competitive programming competitions. I just wanted to practice more, and YouTube works very well for that purpose. I have some sort of responsibility, like I have to film some content to practice, because otherwise you will be disappointed. I don't feel like it's not something that I want to do. So yeah, I feel absolutely okay with it. It's kind of nice reminder that I have to practice. So yeah, let's head on to actual contest this week. And as we can see, we don't have contests before Friday, so we'll have a lot of time to practice actually. 4 whole days can be devoted to practice. I think we'll record at least 2 Codeforces gyms this week, and potentially kind of last week my university started. So maybe I'll record something about it as well if I find interesting lab works from the point of view of software development in general, and not necessarily all that competitive, but maybe simply algorithms and software development. So, but on Friday we have Div2 round. Fortunately, I won't be able to attend it because I am working exactly at that time interval, but I will solve some problems in the background later this day in the very evening. So potentially I even will record an editorial if I solve all problems, or just have enough interesting ideas to share with you guys. On the weekends, however, we have a lot of contests, and I mean a lot. AtCoder Beginner Contest 191, as usual, Binary Search Weekly, Leetcode Weekly, Leetcode Biweekly. Also, we didn't have it last week, so we have it this week. I won't be joining Leetcode contests because of various reasons, including time. But maybe since in several weeks' time, it may just happen that I will join some Leetcode contests. So keep that in mind in case you're interested in this kind of content. And also later today, we'll release video about how I speedrun Leetcode General Challenge. It took only 3 hours this time, so much faster than previous time. If you remember, last time it took more than 4.5 hours, so this video will be shorter. We'll skip some not interesting problems because I already solved them 3 times, but still we'll cover all interesting problems, the problems that I find interesting. But I will join Binary Search Weekly Contest. I even managed to join it last week, even though I expected to participate in CodeChef exclusively. But yeah, speaking of CodeChef, we have February challenge, which will start on Friday and will be ongoing the entire next week. And I kind of like long contests because they don't require the same level of commitment as short contests. You can just solve tasks in background, solve exactly what's interesting for you, and don't be time pressured. And of course, there are talks long challenges are mostly about plagiarism and stuff like that. But honestly, in Div1 contests, I think that it does not matter all that much. just, you know, I know there are some people who cheat in D1, but like the overall percentage is low, and I don't necessarily solve long challenges for like a huge rating increase. I believe I will get some positive delta anyways. So yeah, like last long challenge, I got plus 101 rating. So yeah, and I was not like even solving everything that I could solve. So obviously, there's room for improvement in that topic area field. I don't know how to call like long contests in general. No, but CodeChef announced that they won't have short contests until they fix issues with their servers. I hope that they do, but at the same time, I'm a bit skeptical about it, but we'll see how it goes. Like for me, even lunchtime, like if you compare to Codeforces in lunchtime was terrible. If you like, but if you calculate how much time it took me to submit a correct solution, I don't know. I still don't feel like it affected my performance a lot. Potentially, I got like 5 extra penalty minutes, but it does not matter in the general scheme of things. So yeah, there were problems, but I did not find them critical. Maybe it was worse in Div 3 because like Div 1 only has 200 participants. But I believe that queue here is actually 1 for all contests. I believe in Codeforces they have separate queues for Div 1 and Div 2 rounds because system testing usually goes much faster for Div 1 than for Div 2. So it's kind of a sign that they have just separate queues. So Div 1 contests are almost guaranteed not to get generated because they have much smaller number of participants. So like the queue is separate and therefore it won't fail. Speaking of Codeforces in Div 1, we have another top tier competition, Codeforces Round 700, which is scheduled for the weekends because like obviously because it's some sort of anniversary, right? 700 contests, and we don't even count 100 or so educational contests. Codeforces around 700 will definitely be something interesting, and they want a lot of people to participate, so that's exactly why they scheduled for the weekends instead of like, if you remember previous, as well, January, there was not a single Codeforces contest on the weekends, like 3 contests on the working week, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in the last 10 Codeforces contests, this is the only one that's scheduled for the weekends. And I believe it's because they want high participation in this sort of anniversary contest. So I definitely encourage you to enter Codeforces 700. If you got time in the Friday evening, then definitely join around 699. If you're a beginner and like a bit scared of Div 2 and Div 1/Div 2 contests, then you can always participate in ABC. You can always participate in binary search or in Leetcode weekly and biweekly in case you're interested more like in interview style preparation. And it makes sense to participate in long challenges even if you're a bit afraid of plagiarism. Like usually plagiarism happens for like several first problems. And because you're given an entire week, you kind of can solve these problems in like first 3 or 4 days, and then you'll have time to to think about something more interesting where plagiarism is not that often. Yeah. So yeah. Not exactly certain like how legal is it to discuss ideas. I'm definitely confident that it's illegal to share your code, right? But I believe that if you have a friend who is not in Div3 contest, and there is some rule on CodeChef that allows you to discuss problems with them as long as you only make one submission from the team. So if they don't submit, then I guess it's more or less legal to discuss some ideas, but definitely do not share your code. But I mean, like, I find this kind of contest mostly educational because you have a lot of time to think about not that many problems. So I think it's a good idea to like, if you know someone who definitely does not participate, maybe if you study the rules carefully, then you can discuss your ideas. At least describe your ideas and maybe ask them for like tiny hint. I believe it qualifies for the rule number 9 of CodeChef Code of Conduct, as long as they do not participate themselves. So obviously, yeah. Because otherwise, if you just solve questions entirely on your own and you're not very experienced with this, where is it some simple things in the problem that you essentially solved? So I feel like you will get most educational value out of it if you take one of your friends who does not participate in the contest and just ask them, like, describe your ideas and ask them whether they find it reasonable or not. Just make sure that they do not participate themselves. I just feel like this way you will get the most out of the challenge in terms of education. I mean, we are not optimizing like your written performance. We're just, I think that this is the point of long challenges, to think about problems for a long time, to potentially discuss them with some people who are not contestants themselves, and this way you will learn the most. So yeah, I'll be joining EBC 191, Codeforces 700, binary search weekly, because I want a t-shirt. You know, I'm somewhat close. Like I have almost 6,000 gems out of 7,000. I think I will get it like by the end of February. So in 2 months overall, it's definitely possible if you consistently perform well. And also, if you don't buy access to regulars channel, it was a mistake that costed me a lot. Don't buy access to regulars channel if you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I will try to, like, later today we have a Leetcode speedrun. Tomorrow I will try to record and release some Codeforces practice. And I will try to release another one on either Wednesday or Friday. Most likely it will be Friday. Oh, no, what I'm talking about? Thursday. On Friday, I'm unfortunately working in the evening. So I want to tell you. So yeah, this was it for today. I just want to say thank you all guys again. It really gives me some additional motivation to practice, apart from seeing my rating beats or my ratings, let's say, these stonks, right? If you look at the stats. So yeah, if you're interested in chatting with me, then you can always, if you can't catch me on binary search, then you can catch me there. But a more efficient way to catch me is on my Discord channel, server. I'm still somewhat new to Discord. Yeah, you can definitely join our Discord server. I answer your questions or about problems. I may help you find some bugs or just explain some ideas. So yeah, thanks you all for watching us and joining us today. And I guess I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.